Today she texted me making accusations that the guy and I talked.
It's fighting words to me. If you're saying
That
something
is
like
fighting.
that, that's like you want to fight. She can't handle being a bridesmaid. I
No,
wouldn't
she
even, I don't
can't.
even know about being a guest, but maybe you can demote her to just guest.
You need to get her out. That's the thing. Just
Yeah.
She cannot be in your wedding.
Yeah.
50-50 podcast. Hi everyone, I'm Yas.
And I'm Yel.
And welcome back to 50-50.
Yes, and while you're here, please just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have new episodes out every Wednesday, so just hit that subscribe button.
Yes, and so we're going to just get into our highlights of the day, highlights of the week. How have you been?
It's been a good week for me. I just yesterday actually I bought a rug from West Elm, and I'm gonna go all into this. I have like a vlog that I'm gonna post later about like redoing my whole room, because I've been in the process of redoing my whole room. I got a bed from West Elm, as I already shared here. I have a vlog about it and everything, but I bought a rug from West Elm too because I really like this rug that they had, and I don't know why I didn't learn my lesson from purchasing the bed, and it's just been a disaster. It's been a mess. Like, they delayed it by a month now, and there was all this stuff going on. They actually even said, like, I got an email saying that somebody picked up my rug.
What?
Yeah, and like returned it. And
What?
so there was so much confusion around it. Yeah, it was just crazy.
God.
And like I said, I'll go all into this in a vlog, but I called the store and we got it all figured out. So they were like, oh yeah, like nobody picked it up. It was just a miscommunication. Like my rug actually never made it to the store.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lady on the phone, she was really nice, and she was like, but we do have another rug, and it's not in a white color, it's an alabaster color. Like, she said that's like off white. She's like, so if you want to come check it out. So basically I go to the store, to make a long story short, and I walk out with my rug.
Wow.
So it's not a color that I originally ordered. It's not that bright white that I ordered, but it's like an off-white color, which to me, honestly, I think I like better.
Really?
Yes, I think I like it better right now. So I have to still put it in my room and everything, but so, I mean...
Is it the same style as the rug that you originally ordered?
Yes, same exact style, same exact size, like everything exactly the same, because it's like a nice and fluffy rug.
Yeah.
So that is still the same, thank goodness, and yeah, just in a different color.
Just in a different, like I guess kind of creamish.
Yeah,
kind of.
Like a creamish kind of color. It's like, I guess, a little bit warmer tone, but still very slight, because it's still a white. It's just not a bright white, you know?
White, yeah.
So I'm really happy about that. I actually can't even believe it that I have my rug at my house just waiting for me. I need to just go open it up and...
But you still have the other rug still coming.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the... that's kind of the part that's a little bit annoying still, that I still have to deal with. In a month, if it doesn't get delayed anymore, when my rug actually comes in, I have to go to the store, and like they're gonna just process a return at that point. And so she told me that I will get my money back and everything. And this rug happened to be on sale, so actually at the end I'll be saving like 50%, because the rug happened to be 50% off in the store, the one that I just bought right now. So it's not exactly mine, you know, but so anyways, at the end of this whole thing, I should have gotten like 50% off on the rug. So
hopefully you do, yeah.
Fingers crossed that everything just works out then, because she gave me her name and everything. So I'm like, because I don't want later, for them to be like, I don't remember. So
yeah, because my gosh, that's crazy. Wow.
But man, yeah, it's just West Elm in general. I love that store. Has so many nice things, but I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with the that they're shipping. They just they don't get it right. You don't estimate the time frames right or something about it.
I don't know. I have some thoughts on West Elm, Pottery Barn.
Yeah.
Those, even though everything that they sell there is so cute.
Yeah, exactly.
They have really, really cute things, especially like their seasonal stuff. I just love seeing like their Valentine's Day stuff, their Christmas things.
So cute.
They have such cute stuff, but the shipping, that time frame that they have is just so inconvenient.
Exactly, yeah.
You order something and you don't get it until like 5 years later, it seems like
6 months later. Like, how long? I think I waited for my bed for like 6 months, 5 or 6 months.
Yeah. And by that point, it was another year, because you ordered it, I think it was like 2023.
Yeah,
you didn't get it till 2024.
Exactly. I ordered it in 2023 and I didn't get it till 2024.
That's crazy.
Insane. But yeah, that's like my highlight of the week, because it was like a lot of calling, a lot of problems, but it ended up being positive because I have my rug. So I'm just happy about that. Good.
So my highlight of the week is just really simple, really easy. I have a lot going on, but what I want to share is that I've been able to go out and go for a walk.
Yeah.
Something that I haven't been prioritizing really is just going out, getting some exercise and all that. And I've been really, really wanting to mostly go outside for walks and not really do it on the treadmill, because I have a treadmill here at home, but I prefer to just go out, get the fresh air. It kind of clears your mind. It's so good it's like so therapeutic to go out.
Yeah, it really
So we've been doing like family walks, or sometimes, just even going out for like 5 minutes
Yeah.
is so much better than being at home and walking on the treadmill, I feel like, for 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
you get that nature, which is so calming and so nice, and just breathing another air other than your home air,
Exactly. And especially, I feel like coming out of winter,
Yeah.
it's something just so nice to just walk outside and just feel like the warmth of the sun on your skin and just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just breathe that fresh air. Because like I personally hate the cold. I know you do too.
I do.
And so I do not like to be outside during winter.
Yeah.
I limit my time outside because I hate feeling cold. So anytime, especially spring, that's the best time to get out and start walking. So I'm so happy you've been like walking and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
it's just, before it gets too hot in the summer and everything.
Exactly. I don't like it when
Too
it's
bad.
too cold. I prefer like a mild temperature.
Yeah.
I don't like too hot and I don't like too cold. But I like kind of right now, the springtime. It's a little like wind gusts.
Yeah.
So it just feels so fresh and like you can walk and you're not, burning hot. You get a little warm, but you're not like sweating or anything.
Exactly.
So it feels so nice.
It feels so nice. And the days are getting longer. You also have time to do that now. You can like in the evening go out for a
Exactly.
little walk, whereas before the sun was setting at 5 p.m., which is so horrible.
So sad that you wake up and it's like it's already dark by the time you get out of work.
Yeah, exactly. It's dark.
It's dark.
I know, I
You
hate
go
that.
to work in the dark and then you leave when it's dark.
I know.
That would be so annoying. But anyways,
Yeah.
I love that it's bright and everything. So that's my highlight. Just getting into a little bit more of an exercise
Yes.
routine.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love that. And I'm trying to also walk outside more. So I'm going to try to do that for these next weeks ahead too, because you got to enjoy the good weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are our highlights. But for this episode, we were on Reddit.
Yeah, we were on Reddit.
We saw some juicy stuff. So we were like, you know what? There's all these people asking all these questions on Reddit. Like they want advice on certain situations.
Some people get a lot of traction, a lot of responses,
Yeah.
but some people don't get any.
Exactly.
So we were looking at that and we're like, why don't we kind of respond to their questions?
Exactly. Give them some advice. There are unsolicited, unwanted advice because nobody's asking us. But
Yeah,
we want to
nobody-
give
yeah.
our advice out because a lot of these situations, like I was just like, oh my God, like I want to give these people advice. Like I wish I could like talk to them, like and
Yeah.
tell them because it's just like some of these things are just so crazy. So yeah, just kind of giving some, like some advice, kind of I guess you could say like big sister or just friend
Yeah.
advice to these people because oh my God.
This is what I would tell, like if my sister's asking me or if my
Yeah.
friend was asking me, I would tell
Same.
them the truth because I don't like to be like kind of beating around the bush, whatever.
Yeah.
I like to tell them straightforward what I feel. So that's
Exactly.
kind of what we're going to do with these people.
Exactly, yeah. And my sister, you're definitely more I feel like straightforward than I
Yeah.
am. I feel like I do try to be straightforward. Sometimes I do sugarcoat it because I don't want to hurt people's feelings when I'm like telling a friend or something like that. But I'm gonna take this
Me-
advice like when I'm telling you because when I tell
Yeah.
you, I'm like
No,
I'm
yeah,
straightforward.
yeah,
And I'm
you're
just like
straightforward.
I tell you how it is because like you said, I don't like all this. Like we'll get into it, but about like relationships or even friendships, it's very clear when lines are drawn. Like
Yeah.
and you need to set boundaries and all that. And I like to keep those things clear.
Yeah.
So
And me, the kind of person that I am, I like to just say it straightforward because I'm
Yeah.
not beating around the bush. I just like, this is what I mean and that's all that I mean. So it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Exactly. So let's get into the first
Yeah.
one because I really liked all of these, but
They're good. Okay, so let me pull up the first one. So this one, I don't know if I should read the person's like
Name.
username or not. I won't do it for this time.
Okay.
We'll see what we do next time around.
yeah.
So this one says, my friend asked me to give her number to a guy. So I did because she was too shy. Anyway, she says that they are texting here and there. Today she texted me making accusations that the guy and I talk. In parentheses, she says, I don't.
Yeah.
She's like, we don't, which we don't. I told her we don't talk at all. And she called me telling me to be honest, saying she thinks the guy and I talk or used to talk or had friends with benefits relationship. I told her I don't even talk to the guy. But she's convinced I do for some reason. Truthfully, I don't. I wouldn't have given him her number if that were the case.
Right.
Anyways, thoughts? She's like, in parentheses, she puts, the guy is our manager.
Okay.
Tempted to post the text messages, she says. Also, she accused me of being interested afterwards. And so
Oh,
she
God.
didn't end up posting the text messages or anything. So this is all that we have.
Yeah, that's all that we have. So in this situation,
So what are your thoughts?
I feel like the situation happens a lot.
Yeah.
When like somebody is shy and so they don't want to approach the guy or girl or whoever it is, so they tell their friend to. And then
But this seems so high school to me.
yeah, that seems so like high school, but like I feel like that's what happens because then that person is like So the person who asked and now realizes that their friend that they asked to talk to that guy, kind of, they have a relationship, you can say, but not really. They just probably like have some type of friendship that she felt more comfortable, right? Telling him, I don't know exactly the situation, but it gets messy. Like, that's why if you like somebody, just handle it between you and them. Like, don't include other people.
So for me, this is really interesting because first of all, it says it's their manager.
Yeah, that's
so that right there, that's kind of weird. So this is at a store. I'm
at
thinking,
work.
right? It's a work
situation.
environment kind of thing. And just based on the fact that she's too shy and she doesn't want this, it seems like they're young.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like they're very young. Yeah. So young, like working at some kind of a retail. I don't know why I think retail, right?
Yeah,
some kind of that's where young people kind of work, right?
Yeah.
Younger kids. Number one, why are you going to your manager?
Yeah.
That right there is weird.
That right there is weird, yeah.
So, anyways, besides that point, if you're too shy, then you're too shy. Don't ask your friend to do it.
Exactly.
Especially if you're, I feel like maybe a little bit insecure, thinking that she might like him.
Exactly.
Like, when she said she's telling you she doesn't and she hasn't, she's never liked them. But also, why is the friend thinking that they had a friends with benefits relationship? Maybe they do have a friendship outside of work with the other friend.
Yeah.
And this girl,
something is weird there.
Something is off.
But like you're saying, especially if you're like kind of insecure or you're more of a jealous type and everything, then why are you asking somebody else to go and like give that person your number, like start something between you and that other person? Why are you including a third party? Like I was saying. And so for this girl, like, you know, I feel like she got herself stuck in a bad situation because now what's gonna happen is, honestly, will their friendship be able to last with this? Because I feel like it's so petty at this point. Like, if I had a friend and they're accusing me of that, like, I don't know if I could still be friends with them.
Well, listen, let me tell you this. I had a friend. So I was friends with this guy. This is, you know, when I was in high school. I was friends with this guy, and he ended up dating this girl that I was also friends with.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're all young kids in high school. Like, maybe we were 16 years old. So we were just starting to drive and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so we were going to go out to like the mall or to the movies or something like that. Yeah. So he comes because he lived right near us.
Yeah.
You remember. I think you remember who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He lived right near us. So he came to pick me up. And then we all met up as friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know, his girlfriend, they weren't dating then, but he did this like 1 or 2 times before he was dating this girl. And then when they started to date, she ends up calling me and she's like, hey, do you know where, you know, I'm just going to make up a name. Do you know where Jack is at?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, why would I know where he's at? She's like, oh, because you're friends with him. I'm like, yeah, but that's your boyfriend. Like,
right.
Why are you coming to me? And then she kept calling me and asking me, like, do you know where he is? Because he's not picking up his phone.
That's so weird.
So I'm like, what? If you have these insecurities, like, number one, we weren't even hanging out. I was with mom and you. Like, we were driving, you know?
Yeah.
Somewhere. And so
it's just
weird. These people, what I'm saying is when they're insecure, it doesn't matter what you do. They're just going to be insecure about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just like
weird.
Yeah. That's just weird because you, like you're saying, you were friends, but not any more friends than anybody else
in
the friend group. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it wasn't like, well, we're hanging out like one-on-one or something like that. And I don't think that's the situation here either. The girl's like, I'm not talking to him. We were never friends with benefits. I don't ever, you know, she says nothing. There was nothing with him.
And like she's saying, if she had any interest in the guy, she wouldn't have given her friend's number to him. And that's true because if, like, as a friend, if you're telling your friend, hey, like, I'm interested in the guy, blah, 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 if that friend's also interested in him, then, like, I feel like you would pick that up already.
Yeah.
And she would have probably hesitated a lot to give you the number. Maybe she wouldn't say it straight up, like, no, I like him, so I'm not going to give him your number. But she probably would have one thing or another been like, oh, I forgot to give your number. Like, you know, just do those kind of things. So then you would get the vibe, like, oh, this girl doesn't want me to talk to him, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, I just feel like this is so dumb, and that girl should have never asked for her friend's help if she's gonna be that insecure and then think that they have a relationship.
This is the thing. If you're so shy, I feel like it's even weird for the guy to be like, oh yeah, here's, for example, Stacy's number. Can you text her?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I would feel like weird. I'd be like, I'm not gonna text anybody if they're like, we
Yeah.
have no relationship. That's kind of weird. Like, hey, like, what do
Yeah.
you say? How do you?
I feel like that's middle
Open it
school
up.
when, you know,
Yeah.
somebody's friend comes over to you and is like, so and so likes you.
That
and
is
you're
middle
like,
school.
okay.
You're right. Not even high school. That is middle school. Or like even
Yeah.
elementary school kids do
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I know, exactly. Well, even high school too, I feel like they do that too.
You think? I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
but it's
Maybe,
like
yeah.
that kind of vibe where it's like, you know, why are you telling somebody else to come and tell me?
Yeah.
So,
So our advice is, because it's the girl asking, right? The girl
Yeah.
that gave the number.
yeah, I'd be like, you tell your friend, like, you know, basically, this is my advice. I'd be like, tell her one more time. I would be like, listen, I have nothing to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him in any way, shape, or form in the way that you're thinking. Like, if she sees him as a friend, she can just say that, like, he's my friend. Or maybe they're not even friends.
Yeah, maybe they're
that's
not
what it sounds like.
friends.
Like, they don't
Yeah.
even have any type of real relationship other than coworkers. So if that's it, I would just tell her friend one more time. And if she keeps accusing her,
And the friendship should be over.
I feel like the friendship is over at that point because, and you don't have to, like, no bad blood. You don't have to, like, you know, yell and scream and, like, all that stuff at each other. But I just feel like, how can you move on if they don't even trust you? Like, how can you
Yeah.
hang out with them knowing that they think that you're going behind their back with their boyfriend or, you know, person that they're talking to?
Yeah.
That's like a big accusation.
That is a big accusation. And I would tell her the same thing. I would just be like, you know what? Let her figure this out.
Right.
You know, you tell her the truth that it's like you guys are not friends, or you are friends, but that's all that it is, or you're just coworkers and that's it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if she continues to accuse her of, you know, having any kind of ulterior motives with this
Right.
man, then you need to step back and reevaluate that friendship.
Yeah. Keep your distance from her.
Keep your distance, yeah, because she's accusing you of something like
Yeah.
really horrible, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean,
And so it's not worth it. That's not worth putting time into because she's obviously not getting it.
yeah.
So maybe she'll come around later.
Yeah.
And then you can choose if you want to be friends with her or not at a later time.
Exactly same. And for me, I'm like, I like the less drama possible in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So people who cause drama, I stay away from them. So this girl seems like she's a dramatic type of person. She's gonna cause a lot of drama in your life. Right now, she's accusing you of like talking to him or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Later on down the line, you know, maybe she'll accuse you of doing something else. You know what I'm talking about?
That's
So
true.
I honestly, like I say, I like to keep the drama low in my life, and I wouldn't be able to be friends with her. I would just,
I wouldn't either.
honestly, in the way type of person that I am, I probably wouldn't be like, because I'm not maybe straightforward, so I wouldn't be like, you know, the friendship's over, but I would just slowly, you know, keep my distance from her, and then kind of just, you know, instead of being friends that you talk maybe every single day, like you start to like slowly talk maybe only when you're at work or whatever,
Yeah.
and just like kind of keep it that way because
And if she's
It's too much.
texting her or whatever, I would start ignoring the texts.
Same.
That's what I would do. I would
Same.
ignore it. And if she comes up to you and confronts you at work or wherever it is that you see her, I would just be like, oh, didn't see it.
Right.
And just move on.
Right,
Because
exactly.
it's not worth it. You're saying the truth and she's not getting it.
And if she doesn't believe you, then there's an issue there. Like either she, you know, has trust issues with you, which wouldn't know why or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's another story. But like if she can't trust you, then how can you continue being friends?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
impossible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my advice.
That's our advice. Okay.
Okay, so this next one is titled Friend Makes Subtle Remarks. And I already read this before and it has a lot of grammatical errors. So if you hear me saying something like that doesn't make sense, I'm going to try to adjust it as I go. But like also, it's just, I'm reading exactly what she wrote. So, okay. So here it says, I have a friend who makes subtle remarks that make me question our friendship. We are in the same industry. I have always supported her in her job applications and even helped her prepare a cover letter. She says, my fiance also has helped her in job applications too. And this friend, when she's talking about her manager who dresses terribly, she says, oh, she has the same skirt you're wearing now, and then laughs. I had a new job and was moving in with my fiance soon, and I was talking about how happy it was and such a dream for a long time. I mentioned that they are giving me a small but cute home to accommodate us. She suddenly talks about how her coworker has been provided a huge, luxurious residence by her company. I had an academic record and a master's degree. She is a high school graduate. When we are having dinner, all of a sudden, she says she would even do better than me if she wanted to. Would take the same scholarships as me. I told her, nobody told you you wouldn't do better than me. I always say you are successful, so why are you saying this to me? She laughs and says, never mind. She talks about someone's wage and says, I bet it's more than what your fiance gets. She also talks behind our mutual friends' backs, but treats them good when we are all together. Am I being sensitive, or is it time to end the friendship? I actually don't want her at my wedding anymore.
Ooh.
So this one has a lot
She
going
ended
on.
it with a boom.
Yeah, she ended with a boom. So, you know, she was talking about her fiance in there. So apparently she has a wedding coming up. This is probably one of her bridesmaids. She's, you know,
Oh, God.
because she says, I don't want her in my wedding anymore. And basically just because there was a lot of like grammatical errors in this one, but I
Yeah.
just loved this one. I remember when we were reading it yesterday. Because I feel like this happens a lot.
Yes.
Where you run
Yes.
into people who are quote unquote your friends, right? And they're like, you know, for example, like she's saying these, like, oh my God, she's talking about somebody's skirt, right? She's like saying that their manager, I guess it was, is like wearing the most ugliest skirt. And she's like, oh, like the one you're wearing right now. What?
Why?
Why do you have to go there?
Because that's not really her friend. That's the thing. That's
Exactly.
not her friend at all. She has maneuvered her way into her life, into this girl's life. I wish we would have names.
I know.
But she maneuvered her way into this girl's life to pretend it's her friend.
Exactly. They're actually, this is a frenemy situation.
That's a straight up frenemy. That is what a frenemy is.
Exactly. Like maybe on her behalf, the girl who's writing this, she is being a friend, but that other girl, she is not being a friend to you.
No way.
This is not your friend, never was your friend. I'm sorry to tell you right now, because I could just see from this whole situation.
Yeah.
She was never your friend. Saying things like that and trying to put you down constantly is a red flag in a friendship.
That is a huge red flag.
She obviously has some type of issues where she can't be happy for anybody else. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
And those
so
are
she
red
just has to
flags.
put you
Those
down.
are red flags. When they're not excited when your accomplishments,
Yeah.
and they're not cheering you on, that is a big red flag. And you don't want those people around you.
Yeah.
That's like negative energy.
That is super negative energy, and actually reminds me of a story from myself of somebody that I considered a friend. And I just remember it was, you know, just dumb stuff, but it's just little things
Yeah.
that you start noticing. And it's just little comments like that later you start noticing, like, oh, you know, why are they acting like that? So for example, I was just, you know, graduating from college. Well, I went to community college first, then finished at a 4-year school.
University,
You know,
yeah.
we can go into that later, like if we ever want to talk about it. But I personally, I love that journey. I know it's not for everybody, but
Yeah.
I love that journey that I started at community college, and so did this friend. But when I was just I was about my school. I was about my business when I was at school. So I was really like just trying to, you know, follow the timelines and graduate early and everything. So anyways, I was happy. I was proud of myself. And we were just talking in a friend group, and I was just telling my other friends, like, yeah, I'm graduating soon, and, you know, gonna go to this school and blah, blah. And we were all just talking. Everybody's like, oh, wow, that's great. And then I remember that one friend in the group, when I told them, they were just like, okay. And I'm just like, okay, like, I don't need anybody to be excited for me. But
Yeah.
you just get that energy.
You get the energy. They're like kind of
Like
upset
bothered
about
Yeah,
it.
Like she was visibly bothered by it. And then anyway, so little things like that, and you just start noticing stuff. And then later I would notice too, like when I got a job, I was just like, you know, like you tell your friends, right? This is nothing, like, this is not bragging. It's just like, that is what we were doing, like in my friend
That's
group.
part of the life trajectory
Right.
for people. Like you go to
Exactly.
school, you finish, you know, college, university,
Yeah.
whatever. You go and get a job. Those are
Exactly.
natural progressions of life.
And we were, again, a friend group situation, and like my friends, you know, nobody else had a problem with it except this one person. And again, too, and I was like, oh, I got a job. Their face was just like this. They were just like, okay. Again. And I'm just like, what? I'm
Mad.
like, why are you mad?
Friends like that, you really, or I shouldn't even say friends. Well, those people that claim that they're your friends, you need to be really careful
Yeah.
because I don't know this is what I don't understand. If they don't like you, why are they continuously like there in your life? That's
Yeah.
really strange.
It is really strange, and it's just weird because especially this person that I'm specifically talking about,
Mm-hmm.
I always was so happy for them. You know, anything that they did in their life, like, why not? Like, I don't know. I never, like, when they got a new job, I would be so excited for them to have a
Mm-hmm.
new job. When whatever they were excited about, I was excited about, because why not?
Yeah,
like,
why not?
I don't get it. Like, I don't get that at all. And so my advice too for this person is like, you know, a person making those kind of remarks, they're not a friend. So just know that. You need to know that. And like, I know here she was saying about her wedding. I don't know how you're going to get her out of your wedding, because that is tricky. I don't know
Get
how
her
to handle
out.
that.
I say get her out now.
Yeah.
Get her out before it's too late.
Exactly.
And just be like, listen, I'm going a different direction with the bride. No, you need to get her out
Yeah.
because this is the thing.
You don't want negativity on
You
your
don't want
wedding day.
negativity. She's going to ruin it. She's going to try and do something to mess up your day.
Or even with her bad vibes, she's going to ruin it because
That's
she's
what
going
I'm
to bring
saying.
her negative energy.
Yep. And that's you need to get her out. That's the thing. Just
Yeah.
she cannot be in your wedding.
Yeah, I think she definitely can't be in your wedding. And my advice too for these type of people, which is something that like kind of how I handle my situation too, is like, first of all, don't let them change you, because it's really tricky dealing with people like this, because you kind of want to get into that back and forth. So they start doing these little like remarks to you, like for example, like she was saying here, like, oh, so and so, I bet they make more money than you. Which, who the hell cares who makes more money? Like, that's so stupid. Like, that's dumb. But it can kind of make you want to feel like you want to do the same thing back to them. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
be like, oh, like, she made fun of her skirt. You can maybe want to be, oh, next time I'm going to get back at her by making fun of her shirt. But then that changes who you are as a person.
Yeah, because
you
they're
don't
not genuinely like that.
exactly. You don't want to be that kind of person where you're now going, back and forth with these remarks. Like, be true to yourself, and you continue being the nice person that you are, because she says here that she's always complimenting her and always saying that she's successful too, and like, it's just like always never putting her down. So I would just say, like, keep that same energy, because don't change who you are. You should keep being the nice person that you are, like building other people up, and let her be alone in her misery.
Misery, remember that. Misery loves company.
Exactly.
So this lady, I was actually going to say that she must be going through something herself. She must be going through stuff.
Yeah.
Which we don't know what it is,
Yeah.
because it doesn't say anything about that. But
Exactly.
she must be going through some kind of internal maybe battles or struggles or something. Something's going on. She's unhappy, because you can tell just by the way that she's talking about people, about her own friend. She's unhappy. So don't fall into that trap.
Exactly. Don't fall into that trap. And again, with this one, I'm going to kind of keep the same, it's like the same as last time, but like, honestly, also keep your distance. Like, if you want to keep her as a friend, acquaintance, then that's up to you, but I would say definitely watch your back, because obviously this is not a person that really cares about you or is even a friend.
That's not a friend at all. That's not a friend.
Yeah.
Who is like, why are they like saying, especially like comments that are so unnecessary. Oh, they're wearing such ugly clothes, and just like your skirt. What? That is such an unnecessary comment.
That's fighting words to me. If you're saying
That
something
is
like
fighting.
that, that's like, that is not any way, shape, or form a friend. That is like you want to fight,
Yeah.
like, verbally. I'm not talking about anything.
No, but you want to get into it. You want
you want to get into a discussion, and kind of like a back and forth, like I was saying, like, it's so dumb. And anybody like that, like, obviously, like you were saying, she has some issues going on. Obviously, she has some issues going on internally or something, because if you feel like, make yourself feel better by putting other people down, there's something wrong with you, because that's not normal to put other people down and make yourself feel better.
Yeah, that's not normal. Did that person, I wonder if she actually felt better by saying that. Like, what does she gain by saying that?
Does she go home and feel like better because she's like, oh yeah, like I let her know, that she sucks. Like, now I feel great. Like, what? That I know that can't make her feel good, because that's just so ridiculous. So definitely she has issues.
She does. And all this woman who's saying all these negative things, she's going to lose a good friend, because this friend seems nice, that helping her out with her cover letter, job applications. She's obviously going to dinner at her house, it seems like, because she says we were eating or something like that.
Yeah.
She's in her friend's wedding. So this friend really, liked her and, enjoyed her company, that even is including her in her wedding, is taking the time out to help her out with her personal things. So this one that's being so negative is going to lose a good friend.
Exactly.
But sometimes that's what they need. They need to lose a good friend to notice what they had.
Yeah. And that's also a possibility, like you're saying, maybe she can even notice, and if you have a conversation with her too, it depends, how far you want to take it. Like, if you want to invest the time in like talking this through with her and then keeping her as a friend, because that's really what it's all about,
Yeah.
And she's not even in her wedding, so maybe they've been friends for a while. She doesn't put that in here, but like, you'll know if it's worth it having a conversation with her or not. But if you think it's worth it to have a conversation with her, then I would have a conversation with her. And if she kind of notices like, oh, she can be like, maybe I didn't know that I was doing that or whatever, and then makes a change, then that is good too. But it just depends to you whether you want to put in that time to, wait for her to change and all that, because it's not okay to be constantly put down by somebody.
This is also a thing, if you take her out of your wedding, is she still going to want to be your friend? I don't know, right? But I wouldn't want her in my wedding.
I wouldn't want somebody like that. The way that she's acting, like currently from what she's saying, I would not want somebody like that at my wedding.
I wouldn't want that, because you're going to bring that negative vibes into my wedding day, when everybody's supposed to be happy. It's all about love. It's all about celebration. And it's going to be all about that friend.
Exactly.
And everybody's going to be all about, the bride.
Yeah.
Is that friend going to be able to handle that? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And, another thing, just like, it seems from what she's saying here is like, this one friend, the one who's writing it, she's, has a fiance, so she's planning a wedding. She's saying that she's moving. So there's a lot of exciting things happening in her life. Seems like she also got a new job or a higher position in her job, something like that.
She has a little house, she says, that the company I think is giving to her, something like that.
Yeah. So she's obviously doing good. Like, she's just in that season in her life where it's like a good, nice season, right? And we all have different seasons of life. Like, things, life is up and down. So you should always enjoy all the happy times as much as you can, right?
Right.
And it seems like this other friend maybe is not going through that same.
She's probably going through the down.
Right. Or maybe just not having as many highs as this other friend is having, right? And everybody's on their own life journey. And I feel like that is a big thing that, like, if you just learn that and accept that, we do not have to be on the same journey as everybody in order to be happy for them, sad for them, blah, blah, blah. We can like acknowledge as like, maybe, you know what, maybe life for her is just constant, and maybe she's at the same job for a while, but she likes it. You know, she's not buying a new house. She doesn't have a fiance, but who cares? But this person does. So why can't you just be happy for them? That's their journey. And then when it's in your journey of life, whenever the time is right for you and you are the one that's getting married, buying a house, you know, having kids, whatever it is, that other person can also be there. Your friend can also be there lifting you up. So you shouldn't be like, I'm only going to lift people up if like we're both going through like our highs together. No, that's not how life works. Everybody's life is so different.
Exactly. And one high isn't the same. It's not going to be the same high as the other one, right?
Exactly.
Her high, like you said, is having a we don't know. Is having a constant job, right? She has a constant, maybe even has a long-term boyfriend, or maybe she's already married.
Maybe,
and she's like, you know, has kids and all that stuff, but her life is more constant. And that is happiness. You know, having a boring life is actually the best, because you don't have any thing that is going to cause like trauma in your life, like stressors or stuff like that. You know, life in itself is already so crazy. We never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. Like if you are having a boring time in your life where you're like, oh my God, like your biggest worry is like what you're going to eat for dinner, then you are living a blessed life.
Yes,
because there's a lot of things, like life can go south in a second. And you wouldn't even care what you're eating. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be thinking about other things, and it could be sicknesses, blah, blah, blah. You know, the list is endless. So basically, if you think your life is boring, you're blessed. So just
and we're telling you guys honestly from like experience.
From experience.
Because we'll go into it one day, that many different situations have occurred. Mostly like health related things, right? Everybody's okay now, but
thank God,
at the moment it was so scary.
Exactly.
And you never, like you say, you don't know what life is going to throw at you. So,
and it turns your world upside down. So in those moments, that's when you really, like, I just remember thinking in those moments, like, I just wished for a boring day.
Me too.
I was like, I just want a boring day. I want nothing new to happen today. I want no news. I just want, you know, to sit down, like eat dinner, watch a show, like just
not think of anything, like any stress. But you know, it took time to get there, but we eventually got to that point. But going back to you know, this post,
if she doesn't have a lot going on in her life, she shouldn't feel bad and then put others down as a way to make herself feel better.
That's not nice even for herself. She shouldn't feel good like that.
I'm sure she doesn't feel good, because I don't think anybody could feel good being a hater. That's just, you know. So anyways,
haters gonna hate, like Taylor Swift said.
For real. But yeah, so again, just to, you know, that's a lot there for her to handle, but it's really up to her whether, that's what I feel like it comes down to, whether you really is the friendship worth it to put in like that time and just letting her know like, hey, you're being rude, like stop being rude.
But you know, I think for me, my final advice for her would be tell her. Because it's good to communicate. I know it's hard because people have a lot of problems saying their feelings and emotions and communicating, because it's hard. I know that it's hard because it's hard for me to talk about emotions and stuff. So say how you feel. Be like, hey, that's not nice. What you're saying is hurting my feelings. You know, you are making me feel sad, or why are you putting me down? Or say those feelings. And let's see how she takes it. And if she's like, oh, I'm just joking. Well, we know that's a problem then, because that's not a real joke. That's not a joke. So if she's saying it's a joke, then we have a bigger issue, I feel like, because now she's playing it off as a joke when it's actually an insult. So is it really worth your time if she really thinks it's a joke? No, right? But then you have to make that decision.
I think that's great advice, though. Just bringing it up to her, and then even just seeing her reaction will tell you a lot about what to do next. Because, like you're saying, I would just even start off like exactly what you said, or even just if she says something like that, just be like, oh, why did you say that? Like, what makes you say that? Like whenever she says something like, you know, oh, I bet he makes more money than your fiance. I'd be like, oh, like, why are you comparing? Like, what's the point of doing that? You don't even have to be angry, but just really just bring it out, like being like, why are you doing that? To maybe even then highlight, like, just show her like, what you're saying is just unnecessary. They're unnecessary comments, and like, who's competing? Who cares? Who's
and if she's in her wedding also, they must be close enough for her to be in the wedding, so you can have that conversation, you know. And depending on how it goes, depends on the longevity of that friendship.
Exactly.
Because sometimes, you know, back in the day, I wouldn't. invest my
Yeah,
time
me
in a
neither.
friend, or I don't even know if I would do it now, to be honest. It depends how good of friends I am with the person.
Exactly.
But if I'm not that good of a friends, is it really worth my time and stress, to invest all that time? I don't know.
Exactly. I agree. And I heard something one time where a lot of us will think, even like we're saying right now, I'm just saying the same thing right now too, but we'll say like, "Oh, I've been friends with them for, so many years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever it might be. Like I don't want to throw that friendship away." But I remember reading somewhere that they were like, it doesn't matter how many years you've been friends with somebody, if they're not treating you correctly, you shouldn't like be like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna put up for it because we've been friends for so long."
For so long,
No,
yeah.
you should never put up with that stuff. And like, it doesn't mean you have to stop talking to her like all at once, but you have to let that person know. You have to address it because
Yeah.
it's not correct for you to be treated that way either. Imagine every time you go hang out with your friend, she's always gonna be like
Like
giving,
poking at
doing a
you.
little poke, doing a little jab. That's
That's so
annoying.
annoying.
What ends up happening is you end up not wanting to hang out with that person anymore.
Yeah.
So the friendship actually ends up ending anyways because it gets annoying. So it's better to
Right.
talk about it.
And what I was going to say, there's also different, I feel like, categories of friendship.
Yeah.
Right? So you have a friendship maybe that you talk all the time, almost like maybe like sister like.
Yeah.
Then you have another friendship that is maybe like whenever you guys go out, that's the people that you hang out with when you go out. You have other ones that are more like acquaintances, or maybe they're at your kids' schools or
Right.
stuff like that. So you have different categories of friends also. So maybe she'll move from being a super close friend to maybe like, maybe she kind of like downgrades in the
Right.
friendship.
Yeah.
And is not as high up in your ranking. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get
in
100%. 'Cause,
friendship type.
why would you want to? If somebody like this, I feel like the person writing it, she might not feel willing to share that many more things about her life anymore if she's
Yeah.
going to then later, like, always be making these remarks. Like, obviously, she knows maybe that her fiance has a good job. That's why she's pulling out, like, oh, he makes more than fiance. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you might be less willing to share things about your life. And then that is, like, also gets to the point where, like, when you're like, I'm not going to share this, I'm not going to share that, you meet up with the person, you're like, wait, what am I going to talk about?
Yeah, what is there to talk about?
You got your whole list of what I'm not going to say, and it just becomes hard to be friends with people like that.
Yeah. That's our advice.
That's our advice, yeah. And it's a tough one. I mean,
It's a tough, yeah.
But definitely, I think address it like we were saying, just to summarize, address it with her and then see
Yeah.
her reaction and where that goes. That would be our final advice, I think.
Final advice. And I'm going to add this. Don't have her in your wedding.
Yeah, for
That's
real.
just the truth. Just
real.
don't have her in your wedding. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Whatever the outcome is, don't have her in your wedding.
She can't handle being a bridesmaid.
No, she
I don't
can't.
even know about being a guest, but maybe you can demote her to just guest.
And that's another hard one too. How do you demote somebody? How do you like uninvite them or take them out of your
Yeah.
wedding? But that's for you to handle.
Yeah. Oh my God. And that's for like another maybe whole episode because
Yeah.
how do you take somebody out of your wedding?
Just saying it. You're no longer at my wedding party.
Yeah. And how does the friendship recover from that?
It won't.
It really won't.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I loved doing these things. I don't
Me
know about
too.
you.
I loved it. If you guys like this, give it a like. If you guys want advice, you have something going on in your life and you want us to kind of give you advice, this is our first advice thing that we're doing. So
Yeah.
we're going to get better at giving our advice, maybe more concise. I don't know, more
Yeah.
like that. But if you guys have any advice that you want us to cover,
Yes.
let
us know.
Let us know. Put in the comments. I don't know. Put it on Instagram. You can follow our
send
Instagram.
us a DM on Instagram if you want to be like anonymous. Send us a DM
Yeah.
on Instagram. Our Instagram is always linked down below. But yeah, let us know because sometimes you have issues going on in your family, with your friends, whatever it might be, and you just want somebody who doesn't know you to give you advice.
Yes, you want an outside perspective.
Exactly, because sometimes you don't want to. I know this has happened to me where like something's going on and you don't want to tell, let's say a friend what's happening.
Yeah.
Or let's say family, you don't want to tell, there's different things like that could be situations where you just don't want to tell another person about this.
You
but
just want to tell someone that doesn't know, like a neutral party.
A neutral party and just like get their opinion. So we'd love to be that neutral party for you.
Yeah.
And give you advice. And we'll tell you how it is because the truth is, I feel like we have our opinions. A lot of people are scared to like lose a friend or whatever. And I feel like we're not. So we'll tell you straight up. And, life is too short to be putting up with people's BS. You don't have time for that. You deserve a nice, happy life to not be surrounded by haters and all that. So
yeah, and you need, what I've noticed with a lot of these things that we've been reading, and especially these two from today, people need to choose like themselves more. They need to worry about themselves more than their friendships.
Exactly.
That's what I noticed, that people are so invested into their friendships and they're okay with like putting themselves down or like getting
or taking these things that they shouldn't be taking from people.
And it's so unfair. Like they're always having these like bad friends.
Yeah.
So we'll tell you how it is.
Exactly. Remember, friends, it's always quality over quantity.
Yes.
That is a big thing because who cares if you have 20 friends, but they all treat you horribly.
It's better to have one friend that
One
is
good
good
one,
and then that's it.
Yeah.
And even if you have zero friends, you know, your family can be your friends too.
Exactly. You can be your own friend. Shoot.
Yeah, you can be your own friend. You
It's
don't
better
need
for
anybody.
you to have 0 friends than have a friend like some of these people that we were hearing here.
Yeah.
For real. They're not friends. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let us know if you guys like these type of videos. We'd love to do more of these. Like we're saying, I loved finding these things on Reddit.
Me too. I liked it.
We recently just discovered Reddit. I don't know if you guys have already been on there, but I did not know how Reddit worked, and now I really like it.
I still don't know how it works.
I still don't know 100% either.
Because we found it through like doing the whole Aspen
Yeah.
thing, her divorce and everything like that. So
It led us to Reddit because there was
It led us to Reddit, yeah.
of the stuff that was coming out wasn't on Reddit.
on Reddit, yeah. So then we found out this whole like advice
area.
of it. So it's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. It's
Yeah.
fun.
So anyways, if you want advice from us too, you know, let us know just from a neutral party, like we were saying. We'd love to give it. So yeah, once again, just don't forget to hit the like button if you like this kind of videos, subscribe, and
Leave us a comment.
Yes, leave us a comment too. Leave us a comment. Let us know
Anything.
Yeah.
You know, if you got to this point, what about an emoji?
Yeah, why don't you comment what is a good one?
Put a heart emoji.
Heart emoji. I was gonna say I love the heart emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cute one.
I think that's the cutest one. So yeah, we will see you guys in next week's episode, and thanks again for watching.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.